Hello crafters, today is the third day in my Crafty Max Christmas card series 2018, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different ways to use Wreath dies. And when I'm talking about Wreath dies, I mean the ones that you kind of build the wreath yourself. There's so many different things you can do with them, and I'm going to be sharing those with you in this video. The one I have is from this brand, I think it's a French brand, and actually it was on really good sale. So I'm very happy with that. But Alt New has one, and I will link it below, and it's also quite similar to this one. So if you can't find this one, you can always get that one. So how I'm cutting these out is I'm using this really thin paper, because at least with this die, it's really, in my opinion, it's really important to use thin paper as it doesn't cut well. Even then, there's some pieces that will not punch out for like whatever I do to them. And so I've some felt as shims. You can also use like a metal shim if you have, or extra pieces of paper, but I just use felt. That's what's handy for me. And this is just some cheap paper that, I don't know, I got as a sample from this French cardstock company. So to make the first card, which is this one, and I'm probably going to make it for my actual mass-produced Christmas cards, because it's very easy and I think it's very clever, but it's again very easy and so simple to make. And you need a little bit of a base for your wreath, so I'm just taking some scrap paper and 2 dies. You can use any dies you want, and you can make them different sizes. And then I'm colouring the white side of that green, and the back side of it will be stuck down to the paper. And I really recommend having your paper green so it doesn't show through the leaves. Actually, I thought of colouring it green after I filmed this clip. That's the joys of editing. So the way I'm just doing it is I have some multimedia matte in a little squeezy bottle. You could, of course, use a paintbrush, but I was not feeling like cleaning paintbrushes that day. So I just cut out lots of different wreath pieces in lots of different colours, and I just stuck them down in a circle, try and have them all going in the same direction. It looks at least a little bit better that way. And yeah, so I just kept sticking those down. So for this card, I actually have a card base that I already covered with some patterned paper, and then I'm going to cut the front in half, so you get this, I don't know, weird kind of card base. It's a bit weird. And then I have my cut out and my wreath, which I stuck together, and I put some double-sided tape on half of it, and then you can see that half of it peeks through and half of it doesn't. It's probably not the most practical card, but I still like it. And for my next card, I made this kind of sheep kissing, because you know it's mistletoe and that whole kind of thing. So I just have these sheep from the I forgot the name of the stamp set, the Lawn Fawn, it'll be on the screen, stamp set. I use it so much, it's one of my favorite stamp sets ever. I think they're so cute. And then I put some double-sided tape at the top of the card, and I just stuck lots of those little pieces down, and this kind of creates you know, the sheep kissing onto the mistletoe. And of course you could do it with like any other critters you have from your collection. I think Lawn Fawn works especially well for these kind of cards. I'm kind of might do them with some of my other Lawn Fawn sets. And then I just added some little berries that I cut out of some red paper at the end, but I don't think I show that here. For the next card, it's a very, very simple and very mass-producible card. I just have a card base from covered with this paper. It'll be down below again. I'm so sorry, I'm so unorganized. And I have this sentiment from an old creative stamping magazine, and I cut that out with a kind of a label die that I got from Sizzix. And then behind that I put some double-sided tape, and onto that I am sticking all of my wreath pieces so they kind of stick through. And again, I'm doing lots of different colours and lots of different shapes, and it kind of creates a centerpiece behind the tag, which I think is very good, and it's obviously so quick and easy and fun to do. I am probably going to be doing these for my mass-producible cards because I think they're really effective, and the center layout is like kind of the best layout to ever do for any kind of card making. It's just so simple. And then behind that I put some more double-sided tape and stuck that down into the middle of the card, and there you have it. And for the next card, it is kind of more of a background. I'd say I could have stuck a lot more down onto these cards, but I don't know, I just didn't. So the way I'm doing this is I'm actually embossing the die onto the card. And again, the Altenew set would work so much better for this because they're kind of separate. But even for this, I just kind of repeated them and flipped them, and I still got a nice layout. So I just am on tab 2 of my die cutting machine, and then I switch to the other tab, and here you can see the two comparisons. One is lighter, one is darker, like one is more embossed and one is less embossed, and I'd probably go for the less embossed one, which is with tab 2. So then after that, I got some of that same multimedia matte in the squeezy bottle, and I stuck down random pieces. I actually didn't have the pieces that would make like a full over background, so I just stuck these random scraps I had. It's actually not that nice, but you know, look. And I also at some stage found some glitter paper in my scrap paper drawer, and by the way, these Wreath dies are great for cutting up your scrap paper. And I cut out some glitter paper with that, and it worked really well, and I'm so glad I did it because it definitely added a touch of sparkle to my cards, much needed. And then again, I'm just continuing to stick those down. And then for my last card, which I have to say is again a very mass producible one, and I really love it. These are my scraps from like the video. So I just put I just put glue all around the edge, and I'm just sticking down random bits of paper. I would recommend doing this in different layers so you can kind of build it up, but again, it's up to you at the end of the day. And then just continued, and I really love those pine cones because you can kind of add them behind things to kind of fill up the space without using your nice die cuts. And then I just stuck stamped a sentiment down again. And I think that's all for this week's video. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and please tell me down below what you want me to do next in this Christmas card series.